Ready?
Okay.
Alright, hi, I'm Kevin,
Kave?
and we will be mediating this, what is it, a dispute between Mr. Kobayashi and Mr. Smith. Let's see, start out, we will lay out some ground rules that we will follow during the mediation. The first one is most important, everything here will remain confidential, so it will not leave this room. Um, that's the biggest one. We want to make sure that you guys each have a time to talk about your side of the story. We want to try to refrain from too much interruption.
Swearing words.
Swearing words. We don't want to be, get personal or anything. We want to make sure you guys feel comfortable, and if you guys need a break, you know what's happening here. Just go ahead and let us know. What else? Anything else?
Take turns of talking. Do that.
Yeah, we'll take turns in talking, and as far as that goes, I don't know, but let's get started. All right, so we'll start with Mr. Kobayashi.
Gobayashi.
Kobayashi. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Gobayashi.
It's alright. It's common.
All right.
It's common.
Who's speaking in for his father?
Yeah. Unfortunately, my dad can't be here. He's back at home trying to tend to the yard. So what's been going on is my father called me 3 weeks ago. He said like, hey, my neighbor's been kind of acting kind of weird. I'm like, well, what happened? He's like, I think he threw something in my backyard. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, they've been neighbors for quite some time. And my dad and him never had any issues. So I was kind of perplexed. Never really knew the guy very well, Mr. Dale. So I was like, okay, well, I asked my dad, like, well, what's going on? Like, tell me what's going on. He's like, oh yeah, he's been kind of acting really weird. I think he threw something in my backyard, like some sort of substance or chemical. My dad doesn't know what it is, but apparently it's hurting his eyes. That's the first thing that stuck on my mind. He told me, like, yeah, like, it's been kind of burning my eyes, or it hurts sometimes when I go in the backyard. I'm like, are you serious? Like, you sure? And at first I didn't really believe it. Like, why would he throw stuff in the backyard? Like, I'm like, Dad, come on, like, maybe a skunk climbed over and, like, decided to, like, whatever. So, I give him the neighbor benefit of the doubt. I don't even know him that well. And my dad starts telling me all these other things too, which is kind of like gets me a little worried, because my dad's like 86 years old. And he's at a pretty good right age. He's got grandkids. He's at that age where he's just really old and vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And so it gets me worried. I'm like, okay, so it hurts when you go in the backyard, right? So like, is there anything else, Dad? Like, you want to come over, take a look? He's like, oh no. He tells me like, no, I don't want you to come over. I don't want you to I don't want any trouble. I'm like, why would there be any trouble? Like, I just should take a look in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells me more stuff about how his eyes have been burning. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it was a skunk. Like, we'll get it looked at. We'll see what's going on, Dad. And then he tells me more stuff. He's actually but what really stuck out to me was I was trying to kind of like end this conversation on the phone with him. Like, okay, maybe it's just a skunk or whatever, right? But he told me some trees are dead. I'm like, the skunks stink when I kill a tree. Like, the trees are dead? Like, really? He's like, yeah, the tree died. Some plants are dead. He told me that the koi fish in the pond, the koi fish, a koi fish in his backyard pond is also dead too. That's the point where I got a little worried. Was that okay, maybe this isn't some sort of coincidence. And then I said, oh, well, why do you think, I asked my dad, like, well, why would Dale throw something in your backyard? Like, I don't know, but it's not, there's no, like, the other neighbor on the other side of Dad's house hasn't even been home for like a month. So they're not there. So the only plausible explanation is either some animal came in and did something, but an animal couldn't kill plants, like at a koi fish inside the pond. Like, nonetheless, so my guess was it was Dale.
I've never seen any fish.
Well,
just say that.
Okay, so you basically saying that your dad was
But my dad's just really freaked out and worried.
okay. So somebody he thinks that's or somebody the next door neighbor, Mr. Smith, threw something over.
That's what my dad thought, right?
That he
So,
threw something over the fence.
That's
that was
what-
killing
I
trees.
didn't throw anything.
Yeah, that's what. Well, that's as far as I know. That's what my dad. As far as the story goes,
Mhm.
that's what my dad said first. I was like, okay, well, let me go check this out to see if this is for real.
Okay, so what happened?
I went over. So I went over to my dad's place and I ran into Dale here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was in my dad's garage, looking, rummaging through some stuff.
Mhm.
And then the garage was open, and I seen Dale coming home, and I was like, "Hey, Dale, can I talk to you for a second?" And he like freaked out on me in my dad's garage. Like he walked up, and I said, "Hey, what's going on?" My dad says like he thinks you threw something in his backyard. He just flipped on me,
What did
like he
do?
went freaking psycho. He got in my face,
Mhm.
and he threatened to hurt me and my dad.
It's really over
Like
exaggerated.
he got in my face. Like he did everything except actually touch me. I was freaked out. And like I was like, okay, well maybe my dad's claims aren't so unfounded.
Mhm.
Because I just asked the guy, hey, let me talk to you real quick. Like, my dad's kind of worried. All of a sudden he's just threatening me.
So you
And
felt
my
threatened.
I didn't feel threatened. I
You
was
were
threatened.
threatened.
Oh,
He was
come
in
on.
my face. He did everything
over the
except
top.
touch me.
Did he verbally threaten you, or
He
you
verbally,
just
verbally.
So
He didn't
uh,
touch me. He didn't lay a hand on me. Thank God.
okay? And so how did that get resolved? How did he end up leaving?
I told him, hey man, you gotta leave my dad alone, or I'm gonna have to call somebody.
Mhm.
And I did not say I'd call the police. I said, hey, like I'm gonna call somebody. You need to I'm feel threatened right now. That you're really scaring me.
He's just blown
He's
out of
scaring my
proportion. It's not that big of a deal.
My dad's an 86-year-old. He's 86 years old, of course, and he's from Japan. He doesn't speak a lot of English very well.
Okay.
So of course, when you have like someone who doesn't understand very well come at him in a very hostile manner, he's gonna get freaked out.
Okay.
So that's why he called me.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after he got in my face, I was just like, oh my god, this guy's kind of nuts. So apparently, I took my dad to the hospital. My dad's eyes are okay. And then his plants, the plants are all dead. The trees are dead. The fish is dead. The fish.
There was never any fish in the first
There was
place.
a fish. There was a fish. It was a koi fish. It was a very important fish.
Was it just one koi fish?
There's one koi fish.
I never. It must have been like the dirtiest pond ever because I never saw any koi fish.
And on top of that, that was on top of the fish, which was like super important to the family.
Mm-hmm.
He knocked over my dad's camera. My dad has this security camera in the back that's facing the backyard, and
I had probable cause for that, and I'll explain that in a
And
moment.
like,
Okay, you'll get your
and he,
chance.
and he reached over. Apparently, he reached over with a broomstick over the fence, and he just knocked the camera. The camera doesn't work now anyway,
How do you know you did that?
because the camera footage. We have
Oh,
the
okay.
footage of him reaching, like it's like literally coming at you with the broom, and he just knocks the
Well,
camera.
you'll know why when I tell you why I did that.
Okay.
I don't know why I did it. It's a security camera. My dad feels comfortable with it. He's the one who said it. I told my dad I should set it up so I could, but he didn't. He insisted that he do it himself.
So you know for a fact that he destroyed the camera, but you're not
Yes.
certain that the dead trees and shrubs and the fish was related to him?
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to get going further. Before the camera went busted, before the camera got broken,
Mm-hmm.
I got some footage of him. I don't see him it's kind of off to the side-ish because the camera's in a weird angle.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have like a full thing of him throwing something, but there is him kind of one night actually walking to the backyard, going up to the fence and then walking away. So that doesn't prove that he threw something.
He went up to the back.
The fence.
Oh,
The
okay.
fence that separates our
Okay.
backyard. He went up to the fence and then he walked away somewhere. So I don't know. And that was like 2 nights before my dad started complaining about the smell and the plants and like his eyes burning or whatever.
So
I mean,
this
that-
was at night,
This was
so you weren't able to really see much.
I don't
Just him walking to the fence. and-
Yeah, we just saw him walking to the fence. He was holding something, but I told Dad, he could have been. I'm trying to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. I tried
Mhm.
up until he got in my face in my own father's garage.
Well,
I
I'd
threatened to hurt me.
I'd like to give my testimony so they can see all the things that you guys have done. But keep going if you have more.
Okay, well, I mean,
Maybe something like that.
I have charges. I have brought charges against him
Okay.
Yeah,
Because he threatened.
I'm
'Cause he
aware of
threatened
that.
me. Because he threatened me. If at all possible, I'd really like to get all this settled in mediation.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of court late, like if they, like court could take like, you know, a year, 2 years, you know, to make appearances.
So you're willing to sell it?
I'm not, well, either certain conditions, of course,
Okay, yeah, of course, okay.
but yes, if those conditions are met, I'm willing to work with him to like reach some sort of like comfort resolution, but if he's unwilling, so then I'll have to go for it.
Well,
I have one question I wanted to ask you before we move to your story. Did you look for that thing by the trees, the bushes, to see if there was any item that you found that might have affected the plants, the smell? Like, did you find any object or anything or any hints or anything that would have give for you to believe that there was something that he threw over?
I didn't throw any. Go ahead. I didn't throw anything over.
I didn't find any containers or bag or whatever. All I could recognize was the smell. It was a very odd smell. I never really smelled that before. What's kind of weird is that before all this happened, while I was visiting, doing the routine, you know, grocery run for my dad, I was coming home and I see this was like maybe a day or two before like all the whole incident with the yards. I noticed him like there were police officers there at his house. His house, at his house. And,
yeah, but that has nothing to do with your plants.
it was,
Come on.
I don't know, I just think it was odd. And then I don't know, maybe he thought my dad called the cops on him. That's where it was retaliation for calling the cops on him for some odd reason. I don't know what goes on in his home. But I did see police officers there, and then a few days later, then the whole fiasco with my dad's backyard happened. So I'm a little like
suspicious about that?
suspicious. I mean, like what he does is his own business.
I mean, why would you be suspicious about that? As far as police being there?
Police being there, because they weren't normal police officers. They were wearing suits. They weren't like in uniforms. They were in shirts and ties.
It has nothing to do with you, man.
I'm just saying what I saw. Whereas they had their badges hanging in there with the thing, and they looked like detectives or maybe narcotics.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, they were police officers. They probably were. They weren't in uniform, but you know, you could tell they were police officers. Yeah, I went to the district attorney estimated that all the damages with my dad's backyard is gonna be like $3,500, $3,500, all damages included.
I don't think that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not totally interested in the money. Like the money is not a big deal. A lot of the stuff that was destroying the backyard is just irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm. Has value.
Yeah, like especially the fish. The koi fish.
There's no fish in
The
that.
koi fish has a lot of emotional value.
Okay.
It was very important to my father. It was very important to the family. When my mother passed away, it's a Japanese tradition for us to have the fish. It was every year for her birthday. So that was actually a birthday gift for my mother. And then she passed away some time ago. And that fish is like a reminder of her.
Right.
And so my father's really, really upset about that. That's the one thing I'm concerned about the most is the koi fish.
Okay. So we don't got a lot of information out of you.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah.
For now, we should let him say his story, then we'll go back to the details on the stories of both sides.
Okay, Mr. Smith.
Alright, get my side out there. My name's Dale Smith. I'm 33 years old, you know, obviously white Caucasian man. I am Mr. Gobayashi's neighbor. I know Sato. I've known him for some time, and I also know Mr. Gobayashi Sr. I'm aware that he's older. He said 86, and I'm aware that he speaks no English. I mean, we've always had a pretty good relationship up till recently, and they've placed charges of vandalism against me.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, the district attorney has allowed mediation for this situation, which is nice. I'm convinced that Mr. Gobayashi and Sato, they're both after me. They reported to the police I'm a drug dealer. I mean, that's what the whole narcotics thing was. I'm not a drug dealer. I don't know where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
That led to me being arrested, and that was for no reason. I'm sorry, but that was just out of line. And yeah, they did have a camera. I'll admit, yeah, I did break the camera. You want to know why? Because the camera was pointed straight into my bathroom, and they were straight up spying on me, man. And that
Why
camera.
am I 86-year-old father?
Hey, maybe because you guys thought I was a drug dealer, which isn't true. But that camera was straight into my bathroom window. So yeah, one night I did take a broom and knock it off because that's invasion of privacy. Like, come on, I mean.
The bath, whatever.
I don't know. So I don't know. I guess I did break it, but I don't think I should being charged for vandalism. I think that's a little out of line.
That is vandalism. That's our property. You broke our property.
Okay,
Well, what
but
is
we
invasion
had-
of
we
privacy?
Okay.
Come on, man.
Alright.
You
Well,
had your time to
and
speak.
I guess I do have an explanation for his dead plants, which I highly doubt was because of me. I have some weed issues in my backyard. I sprayed some Roundup, and now they're saying that my spray somehow magically floated through the air and landed in all of their backyard and killed their fruit trees and their plants. And how can a little bit of Roundup kill like actual fruit trees and plant? It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, like my Roundup is not that strong enough to kill all those plants, so I highly doubt that has anything to do with me.
Okay.
So, and not to mention the fish pond with the koi fish. Like I said, I never saw a fish in there. I mean, they're saying I killed these fish. I didn't put anything in there. I've never even seen a fish, so I don't know what they're really talking about. I mean, I respect you if you guys do have a fish, but to be honest, I never saw one. I mean, to be honest with you, I have nothing against you guys. I have nothing against Mr. Gobiyashi and Sato. But I mean, you guys have started to get on my nerves. I mean, I did go over to their garage and I tried to talk to them about what's been going on. And Sato just straight up starts doing some martial arts kicks in the garage, trying to come at me like he's Jackie Chan. I'm like, calm down, man. Like, I'm just trying to smooth out the situation. And I'll be honest, I did get in his face. I came really close to hitting him. But I just thought better, what's the point? I'm going to get charged with some assault right now for no reason. But I mean, he was coming at me with his martial arts moves, and I thought that was a little strange. I mean, maybe that's part of your culture. I don't appreciate it when you're coming at me like that.
Okay, so let's back up.
What?
You think that him and his father are after you because of what happened in their backyard?
Yeah,
from-
absolutely, man.
Okay.
I mean, like, how can this all be related to me? I mean, like, my Roundup. There's no way my Roundup killed trees, fish, and all their plants. I mean, that's like impossible.
Now, you mentioned something about the DA getting involved, and you got
Yeah, well, because they reported me as being a drug dealer before
anything.
and before I know it, they're at my door and I get arrested for suspicion of being a drug dealer. I mean, I don't know why I got arrested. They didn't find anything. I mean, maybe they found a little bit of marijuana. I mean, yeah, I smoke in the privacy of my own home. I have a medical marijuana card.
Mhm.
That's it. I'm not dealing cocaine. I'm not dealing heroin or crack. Everything's legal with what I do. I don't do anything. I don't have any illegal activity. I don't sell. I don't do anything like that. So I don't know why he came to me with those accusations, because that's just out of line. And I know Mr. Gobiyashi was the reason behind it. I know for a fact. And he probably thought he saw something with those cameras that had knocked down, but that's an invasion of privacy.
Right.
I feel like I should have been able to do that.
Okay.
And I mean, it's just, all these things is just added up in a really inconvenient time. I'm going through some hard times of my own. My ex-wife got custody of our kids. I lost my job. I try to be civil with them. I try to apologize, but I mean, they slammed the door in my face. They refuse to talk to me. I'm just making zero progress with these people, and it's just really getting frustrating because I know they think I'm just like, the second coming of the devil, just destroying their entire lives, and I'm really not. I'm a nice guy, and I'm just been really frustrated with this. And
So you feel attacked?
Absolutely, man.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like all this is just coming on me for no reason, and it's really not fair.
Okay.
And with all these, I hope this mediation thing works out because, with all the things that are going on in my life, it's just all the prices are going to add up with the mediation fees. If I need an attorney, but I mean, if that's what it comes down to, I'm okay with it because my privacy rights were violated. So I'll cream those guys in court. I mean, they're not even going to stand a chance against me because I mean, there's tons of evidence on what they were doing that was illegal towards me. So I just want to put that out there. If you want to take this seriously, then I'm willing to go too because I got proof on my end as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll if it comes down to this whole Roundup ruining your plants, I'll consider paying you guys some money to get everything fixed. I'm not going to spend $3,000, but I'll out of goodwill I will offer to pay some of these costs. But I sure don't want to pay for that fish because I'm pretty sure that fish never existed, and I know that these koi fish can be pretty pricey.
What makes you think the fish didn't exist?
I just never saw one, man. I mean, I admired their backyard. They have a really nice backyard, and I would look over sometimes just to look at
It's a
it.
black and white koi fish.
I never saw it. maybe you should clean out that pond once in a while, and I would see, because I can tell it gets pretty dirty up in there. That's all I gotta say. And I'm not gonna pay for that. And you know, your invasion of privacy and your false accusations was too much for me, man. And you know, I just can't deal with you or your father, who doesn't even speak to me, by the way. I mean, he doesn't really know English, no offense, but you guys have just been too much as neighbors, and I can't deal with this anymore.
Okay, so let's go to the camera issue.
Camera issue. Okay.
What-
Well,
He says that it was pointing in his bathroom.
No, like here's my window and here's a camera. I mean, this guy had his camera right here, just straight into my window. I'd have put like a cardboard board over my window so this guy can watch me shower. As weird as that sounds. I mean, what was up with that, man? Why'd your dad have that camera there? Straight invasion of
I
privacy.
asked my dad that I could set up the camera for him. He's at the age where he's just like, okay, I could do it. Like, he still thinks, well, he still wants to do things on his own. I try to help him. I think he might have set it up wrong. I think he might want to point it in another direction. I don't know if it's pointed directly in his bathroom.
Well, maybe he gave you one reason to set it up, and maybe he had a secret motive to
Okay,
spy
well,
on me the whole
I don't know.
time.
He didn't mention anything about the other cameras because there's only one camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
He knocked it over, he broke it. But he keeps complaining about multiple cameras that we have. Like, we don't have multiple cameras.
I mean, I've seen.
We only had the one camera.
And I mean, if you guys do have others, I don't mind. It's just the one that's staring straight into my window.
Well,
that
he
I
knocked
really
it
should.
over already, and it's done. I don't like that. He knocked it over.
Okay, you've seen how many cameras? One?
I've seen
No, you've seen multiple cameras.
I've
Like, you
seen the one outside my window, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure I've seen one in the front of their house, just like a security camera for
Okay.
security reasons, and I'm fine with that. That has nothing to do with me.
Right.
That's not a camera.
Well,
Okay, so do you have proof that camera was pointing? You're not sure if it was pointing in his bathroom or not.
Well,
I mean, once you look at that footage, you ever see me showering, man? I mean, as weird as that sounds, it was
No.
pointed straight into my window.
Because you need
I
your
doubt that.
privacy,
No, it
but
was not pointing in your window. I mean, it might have been in the corner, but it was not pointing at your window. I don't know what you're talking about.
do you have proof that wasn't pointing in the window?
Yeah, we can watch
You
it.
could look at it and actually see.
Maybe if we could I'll fix it again. But it's done. It's broken.
And it's a good thing it's broken.
I mean, because
I'm not-
earlier you
I'm not
said
down,
that
man.
you saw him, with the broom and break the camera. But if you saw him do that, how can you have seen him do that if you broke it?
I don't know how my dad has it set up. I think it's on like a loop. Like, I don't know how he's old. I love my father to death.
Mhm.
I don't know, but there's some things that I'm like, Dad, why didn't you save all the previous recordings that you had?
No, I'm just wondering because I didn't. That was
Well, maybe because they're me showering. Maybe your dad. I don't know. Is he into that kind of stuff?
No, my
Okay,
father's
let's
not into that
refrain from that. That's
Yeah.
completely off subject.
Okay. No, my
I'm
father's
just
not
saying,
into
if it's
that
pointing
kind
at
of
my
stuff.
bathroom and you're invading my privacy and spying on me,
I'm
that's a
pretty
little
sure
weird.
my dad didn't mean to have it pointed at your bathroom. If it was, in fact, pointed at your bathroom, I don't think he would want that.
I've mentioned it before. I brought it to you guys' attention, and nothing ever changed. That's all I gotta say.
You talked to my dad. You said you talked to my dad and you slammed the door in your face, right?
Yeah,
It's
you
'cause-
guys.
Maybe it's because you
And
didn't
when I
actually
try to talk to you, you came at me with those karate moves, man. I can't.
Okay, let's just settle down here, alright? Get a little
It's
hostile.
ridiculous.
So,
Oh, you did?
um, so in regards to,
Can I ask a question? Why did you start the martial? Why did you feel that you had to express some what made you want to start a fight with him before he got?
yeah, because you didn't mention that before.
I
didn't
didn't start any fight.
Well,
with him.
I've seen him practicing before in his garage. I know that I've seen you practice in there, and that's obviously fine with me. I don't care. But when I come into your garage and you don't stop to try to talk to me and instead just start doing these martial arts moves, and it makes me feel a little bit threatened that you're gonna try to practice them on me when I'm just trying to be a good neighbor and talk to you.
We're trying to get things on the even level because you said that you tried to talk to him
Yeah,
on
I did.
basis, and he got in your face, but he's saying that
I did.
He
I'll
tried to-
admit I did get into his face. I tried to defend myself. I didn't hit
Defend
him.
yourself.
So
I
who was
didn't-
the initiator? With
Who? Yeah.
did you get in his face and he started doing
This
Bruce
guy,
Lee stuff,
this
or
guy's
did,
thinking he's Bruce Lee / Jackie Chan.
or
He's
did
freaking
you
me out.
start trying to talk to him and then he got in your face and then you started doing
Did you do anything that might have provoked that?
right?
Just admit, man. You know you were working on your moves.
Working on my moves.
Yeah,
I
you're-
mean, I've been practicing karate since I was a child. Yes.
Okay, so why
But
why
when
did
I
you have
asked
to?
him to talk, I did not.
Yeah, but why did you continue when I got there? You could have stopped and we could have had an adult conversation about this. You just kept on practicing. I felt a little threatened by that.
threatened that I was practicing.
Well, I mean, you were getting pretty close to me. What if you like accidentally slipped up and hit me and been like, oh, my mistake, and we could have led to something?
Do you think maybe your feelings toward the situation was being expressed through when you were still practicing your martial arts in front of him? Or
Well,
made him
when you practice
think that
martial arts, like the whole point of it is like self-expression through your body.
But do you think there's anything that you might have been portraying through that at the moment that might have provoked the situation of him thinking that you were being aggressive? Do you feel that you might have had your feelings attached to that at all?
My
The feelings of the situation.
Yeah, like what happened? Your feelings toward the situation.
I finished the situation. I was just practicing like I normally do.
Did you acknowledge the fact that he was there? Because he makes it seem
I
like
didn't
he just
realize
walked
he was
in
there.
and you had your back turned.
Well, I mean, the garage was open. I mean, I didn't think I was really invading any privacy. I just walked in and I said, hey, Sato, can we have a conversation? And he wouldn't calm down. I mean, he just kept going. He acted like I wasn't there.
Okay, so you.
Well, I didn't see him come in the backyard. Come into the garage. When you're practicing, you're get into a zone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like working out. You just everything else, you kind of just tune everything else out, and you just focus on what you're doing. I may not have noticed him, but I certainly did not express any aggressive behavior towards his direction.
Okay.
And then all of a
It's
sudden, and then I
questionable.
turn around and I'm practicing my katas, and he's like in my face.
Turn around, so you didn't even know he was there.
I didn't even know he was in the garage.
So you feel that he kind of snuck up on you and then.
He knew I was there. You,
Okay,
heard,
no.
you heard me say your
Hey,
name, man.
no! I was totally just in my zone, and then I turned around, he was already in my face, and then he surprised me. It was really surprising, and
You know what's surprising? A camera pointing at my bathroom. That's what's surprising, because I feel weird.
I don't think. What does that have to do with?
Okay, let's try to stick to the subject of the
He's bringing up
garage.
the cameras.
Right?
Yeah.
We're talking about the garage.
Okay,
We're
okay.
practicing my kendo in the garage.
Let's.
Okay, so I'm practicing. He comes up behind me. He startles me. And when you're trained to react.
Yeah, fight or flight.
So I almost reacted. I didn't.
Yeah, see, there you go. He's admitting it. He
No.
came pretty close.
No, I came pretty close. But I didn't touch him. He didn't touch me.
Mm-hmm.
But when you sneak up on somebody who knows much, you don't just do that.
Okay.
I mean, it's
I don't know,
unfortunate.
Maybe that was on my part. I did kind of maybe not scared, but come off on the wrong way and kind of surprise you. But I just don't appreciate that. I'm just trying to have look, man. I'm going through some hard times. I'm trying to be a good neighbor. I mean, I just want to work this out. I mean, I know that we've had our differences, but I'm just trying to be a good neighbor at the end of the day. I'm just trying to settle this, especially when it comes to the backyard situation with the dead plants and trees. I don't know how to solve that, to be honest with
So
you.
do you guys feel like you're on a little bit of a mutual agreement about the garage
The
situation?
miscommunication.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, if he's willing to leave it at that, I'm willing to too. I didn't hit him, he didn't hit me. I'm okay with that.
It sounds like you just got. If you guys haven't noticed, it sounds like both you guys have realized that maybe there is a different side of you that you didn't see in the situation.
It just got a little heated in a moment, I
You're
guess.
just
Yeah, well,
time
yeah, you
limit.
caught me off guard. So I got a little startled. So of course, my muscle memories that kick in,
Okay.
and I stopped myself.
Acting like he's Bruce Lee.
Okay. Well,
We're
I
going in a
stopped
good
him.
direction. Let's try to stay that way.
Alright,
Okay,
yeah.
so he caught me off guard. Muscle memory reacted. I stopped myself. I didn't hit him. We didn't touch each other. But then that was the point where he pretty much got in my face. Maybe he thought I was gonna try. to
Okay,
hit
so
him.
basically it was like your roommate comes home at night, but you didn't expect him to come home that night, and all the lights are off, and you're like, "Who is that?" And it's just your roommate.
Yeah,
But originally you want to,
I
you
guess.
think it's somebody else, kind of, you know what I'm, you see the direction I'm going at?
It was split, yeah.
I mean, I was trying to make it.
No, I understand. I
You
understand what
know?
you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I did startle him.
Okay,
But
so I mean, in regards with him and I guess it's okay.
Okay, well, with that, all right.
But
So
what's
you,
pissing me off the most is
Mhm.
that his relationship with my father. I think because my dad's Japanese and doesn't speak English very
Mhm.
well, that he said earlier he said my dad slammed the door in your face. It's because he's terrified of him.
yeah, but I mean,
I find
I don't know
like-
what to even make of your
Like,
father. I
when
mean,
he reacts to my dad, it's like very. My father tells me he's very scared of him, that he's very disrespectful and come man. And my dad, he didn't close the door on you because he didn't want to talk to you. He just closed the door because he's terrified of
well,
you.
I mean, I don't know what to make of your father. Obviously, he doesn't speak a lot of English. I mean, I don't really have too big of a problem with that. But when he mumbles to himself in some Asian language that I don't know what he's saying to me. He could be talking some, talking smack about me. I don't know what's going
My
on.
father is not gonna talk smack.
Yeah,
That's
but I
not the
mean,
father's thing I do.
but how am I supposed to know? He doesn't. I can't communicate with the man. I don't know what is going on in his mind.
Maybe that's your problem. Maybe you shouldn't worry about what my dad is saying to himself.
Okay,
Like the whole world doesn't revolve around you, buddy.
Alright, so let's try to get back to, let's see. So we got the garage settled.
I think the garage settle is okay.
Alright, garage is settled. Let's throw that out the window for now.
I think now the main issue is them coming at me with these fees for the backyard, and I've said it before, man. I lost my job recently. I don't have a lot of money, to be honest with you right now, and I'm looking for work. I haven't found anything, and I cannot pay this $3,500 that the attorney said that's how much it costs.
Okay, so money is not an issue for me. I'm just gonna put that on the table right now.
Well, it is for me, and I want to put that on the table.
What I care most about is at least the koi fish. My mother passed away. That's a huge memento to my father. That means so much to him. And that's what really makes me mad. Is like when he's like, my father's terrified of this man. He's 30, disrespectful to my father. He talks to him a certain way. And on top of that, that fish was a memento for my deceased mom, and that's what my father feeds the fish, takes care of it. It reminds him of my mother like every day. Now that the fish has passed on, also, it's put a lot of emotional strain on him, and he's already 86 years old.
Okay, so it has a lot of sentimental value.
A lot of sentimental value. And that can't be replaced.
To be honest with you, like I said before, I've never seen a fish, and I'm starting to maybe feel like this is just some idea to make me pay up so they could just buy a fish, because I know those things are expensive. I've never seen a fish.
Okay, let's get back to like how the fish died and try to figure it, and then.
Oh, also I was gonna ask any proof of the fish if we could eventually. And obviously we don't have maybe right now to bring it, but maybe we could bring that to light.
Proof of the what?
Of the fish actually existing.
Yeah, why don't you? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Why don't you show us the fish that died? Because I've never seen a fish.
The fish that died? It's buried in my dad's backyard.
Well, if you can
Picture
maybe
next to the video, any kind of thing that just shows that you have the fish did exist there.
yeah, if you guys love this fish so much, no offense, you probably should have some pictures of it, right? I mean, maybe you can provide that, because like I've said, I've never seen a fish, and these accusations are a little much for me.
He's saying he never seen a fish, and he basically just sprayed weed or Roundup.
It was just Roundup, simple Roundup. Roundup does not kill trees and plants. And
Okay,
fish.
so how about
it kills weeds?
How about when? Excuse me. Do you recall from when he said he saw you on the camera going up to the fence and walking back with something in your hand? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, I was just in the backyard. I was late night, just sweeping down my side, the cement in my backyard. And I looked over. Like I said, they do have a nice backyard. I like to look at it sometimes, see if they made any improvements. I mean, that's all I did. I didn't throw anything. To watch that camera 100 times. I've never thrown anything. I never tried to intentionally harm anything. I mean, they're thinking it's my weed killer. Maybe that has something to do with it. I highly doubt it. It's just not that strong. I mean,
Did you spray the Roundup over the fence, or just in your area?
Just in my backyard.
Okay,
Easy. And it wasn't just a regular day, not windy, not anything like that. I just don't see how it traveled and killed everything in its backyard. That doesn't make sense. I didn't even spray that much. I don't have that much weeds.
Did you or your dad ever look at the video footage of before or when he started noticing all these smells and his eyes started burning or anything? Did you guys ever?
Like I mentioned, the only footage I could see is that him just walking through the backyard and walking away.
And this was.
It was the middle of the night. There was nothing.
But then I mean that alone, him saying that proves I didn't kill anything because I didn't throw anything over that fence. I didn't
but coincidentally, like the day after, that's when stuff started dying. The fish was dead. The plants were dead. The trees dead. My dad's eyes started to burn. My dad was a little freaked out too about his eyes, so I had to take him to the hospital and get a look at it.
The main thing we should point out is that the DA did mention that the lack of evidence. So in this situation, we do need some type of evidence to make it understanding to his side, to what your what's called saying that he's done.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, there's no evidence. You can't prove I killed anything. You can't say I went into your backyard with a machete and chopped everything down. I didn't go into your pond and grab your fish and throw it out. There's no evidence, man. I didn't do any of that, so I agree with what they're saying. Do you have any evidence?
Is there any more that you think could have happened or anything?
I'm sorry?
Do you think there's any more,
Is there
like,
any? Do you have any evidence that I killed
Do you have any
your
other
plants?
support that it helps you?
other than just, you say you didn't find anything in the backyard, you said all as you can tell was him walking up to the fence, and how long was he at the fence? Was you just,
I was there for a few minutes.
Oh, yeah, right. 30 seconds. Maybe if you spend more time watering your plants and not doing martial arts, your plants would be alive, right?
First of all, I'm not even at my dad's house that often. I don't
Well,
think
maybe
I'm
you
in
should
that
come
way.
stop by or tell your dad to water the plants.
Well,
'cause I
all my
didn't kill
dad
him.
does is take care of that yard. So for it to just up and die all of a sudden, that doesn't make no sense. Like last week, the week before that, I was there. The plants were fine. The fish was fine. And I just passed away. Like I don't know how that happened. Now, if you can't cover the $3,500, that's fine. Like I'm not, like I said, I put on the table. Money's not a huge problem for me.
Alright.
The koi fish needs to be replaced.
what, you want him to replace the koi fish?
Yes, because my father, it was his fault.
But how do you know it's his fault?
Because I don't know, because based on the camera footage of him throwing, allegedly, it looks like he went up to the fence, and then he walks away with something, and then my father's plants and trees and fish are dead. Like that's the only way I could put two and two together. And like, these are healthy things. These weren't like dying over time. They were nice and healthy. He was cultivating everything, taking care of the fish, the trees, the plants, and then within a span of a day or two, they just die. That doesn't make any sense.
Look, I
And I
mean,
look at the footage and I see him walking to the fence, and then miraculously the next day all those things are dead. That doesn't
Look,
just happen.
I highly doubt it had anything to do with my roundup. It's already gonna cost me $500 out the gate to pay for my attorney, and who knows, how much it's gonna. My attorney charges $170 an hour. That's what he's mentioned. I'm willing to pay the most I can pay is $500. Then maybe get your plants back to health, and maybe that can cover somewhat of the cost for a koi fish. But $500 is all I can offer right now. I don't have a job. I'm looking. I have my own issues right now. I can't afford this.
Okay, so. Alright, so price wise, money wise, like I said, I'm not too worried. The fish needs to be replaced. Let's look like $300 for the fish.
Then fine. Then
$3
my 500 should cover
Okay,
everything.
so I mean, like, yeah, we're talking about money here, but what I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried about the money. I'm worried about my father, for the most part, because my father feels disrespected. He doesn't feel safe. He feels threatened. Most of all, I want my dad to just have peace of mind, especially around this thing.
Okay.
Alright, well, I have a like from your father alone, I have a record for people think I'm a drug dealer, so I'm willing.
We did not. I asked my dad. He did not call the cops. on
Okay,
me.
well, I've
I
had
did
so
not-
many issues with your father, but I'm willing right now to settle this because I don't want anything else on my record. I don't want to have a jacked up criminal record because of you guys for some stupid accusations. I'm sorry. I just want to settle this. That's all I can say.
Okay, well, one, my dad did not call the cops.
Alright,
Neither
you
did
said
I.
let's
Okay,
hold
so
the
we
phone.
settled,
Let's
yeah.
back up. We're going in a pretty good direction because you guys seem like you already settled the price of the koi
Price.
fish.
I'll give him $500. That's
And you
it. That's
said
my
what?
limit.
It's 300.
It's 300.
So you'll accept the.
You can put that 200 towards your plants or whatever. I don't care.
And
Yeah,
then
we
maybe-
might have to drain that pond because I don't know if the chemical is still in that pond. I don't want another fish to die. I want to just find another fish and have it die.
Just put the hose in there, man. Fill it up.
Okay.
Well, we got to be drained and.
Alright, one
replaced.
second.
So, if anything, we could maybe come up with an idea of how much exactly it would come out with. $500 is probably what he could give you now.
We keep talking money,
Money,
but
but
that's not what I care
know.
about.
That is what I'm.
My dad still has to live next to this guy.
Okay, so how do
keep
you
him
how
away
do
from
you-
me, man?
Keep
How
him
would
away
you-
from me.
All right, guys,
Calm down. Calm down.
how would you like to present? How would you prefer to make the situation better between you and his father? How would you think that you would want to give a chance to see how you could resolve the situation? And like, how would you see it through his eyes, through your own eyes? Like,
For sure, since your father doesn't speak English, maybe if you could tell your father somehow to give me a formal handshake and an apology, and I will provide the same, and we'll leave it at that. Because I can't get through to your father. I don't care. He could be saying the meanest things to me. I have no clue. And I've tried to be civil with him, but after all that's going on, I just can't do this anymore, man. I just want to end it on good terms and let you guys do
You
what
keep
you gotta
talking
do.
about what my dad like this and that, like Like, I just feel like he doesn't like have any respect for my culture. My dad's not talking about you.
Alright,
He
well,
doesn't talk.
Well, a suggestion to me, if anything, guys, why don't we go ahead and go with the deals with the payment plans, figure out if there's any more, and if maybe we could talk about a payment plan after that.
Okay, payment plan. That's not
Okay.
a problem.
Okay,
No, but let me finish. Let me finish though. Well, then we could get you to actually have a chance to meet with his father and him be there to translate the situation, and you could present him with a koi fish while you guys apologize. So at that point right there, everything will be finished.
I'll buy him 2 koi fish if he just leaves me alone. No offense, man. I just want this to be over with. I can't take any more charges on my record. That's all I can say.
What do you think about that, Mr.
You like that idea?
I'm willing to shake right now, man.
That would work. Well, my dad's not here, so.
Well,
Well, it does, to me, I mean, that is not so much as important as you actually going to my father, because it's a big part of our culture that fish represent, like I said earlier.
I understand.
So if you were to present the fish to him in a respectful manner and say, hey, and I can translate, I think he'd be okay with that. Like, I'm more interested in, like, the way you treat my father.
Alright. And I like I said, I'm willing to just kind of like take the back seat here and just kind of mind my own business if you guys promise to do the same. I can't have anything else on my record, man. It's been a hard year for me.
Okay, so we agreed. We got the garage settled. He said he'll give you
Payment ideas.
payment
And apologize.
And yeah, I'll apologize. I'll present your father with another koi fish and we'll call you.
Is there anything else?
The koi fish, just talk to my father, and then
Sounds like
As long as I don't go to court, man, with something like this, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Wait, don't you do
Oh,
a review?
Huh?
Oh, we didn't do the review.
Oh, we did do, okay.
Oh, wait,
wait,
still-
I guess
still recording.
it's paused, or,
No, it's recording.
okay, thank God.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so, fuck, man. That was long. But
That was
fun.
good though.
That was
That was
good.
good.
That was
That
better
was
than
Yeah,
last
that's
one.
it's good
Yeah.
to help, dude. There's tons of details.
Yeah,
Like,
hell,
that's
there was
what
a
I'm
back part I forgot to read.
Yeah, and me too. That's why I was like, when you were talking, it's like, oh shit. And that's what he keeps saying,
Yeah.
like, you don't want to be charged with vandalism, like, you don't want to, you have no money,
Yeah.
you have no job, and so I was just like, dude.
And he was like, because like apparently, like, I'm not supposed to let you guys know that I'm a doctor. That's why money wasn't an issue.
Oh.
That's why I was like, money's not an issue. I'm worried about you disrespecting my dad.
I thought you were gonna say that's why you weren't supposed to let us know that your dad accidentally sprayed some bad chemicals because he's so old he couldn't recognize the difference.
Nah, because I was like,
I was about to say that too. I was gonna be like, are you sure your dad didn't do this himself?
nah, that would have been bad. I'll be like, you telling me that? I'm
I'm
like, you trying to say something, buddy?
Yeah, I thought that
I was really confused how we were gonna fix that whole fucking issue with the. Sorry, man. But yeah, what's it called? The whole issue with the spray thing with the fish and how it happened.
Yeah.
I'm like curious to like understand the story of like how did it really happen?
Yeah.
all it says is I sprayed Roundup, and apparently they think it like floated over the fence and landed and killed everything and killed your fish, which is like.
But can
It's
Roundup
up-
really kill that stuff? Does it say that Roundup can't? I don't even know.
I don't know that either.
So,
But all I know is
Does it
that
say that it really
all
can't?
it says like here like because of the nature of the substance you were using, it may have been possible for a small amount to get in Kobayashi's yard.
What the?
and then
That's all it
there it says he threw something.
And then it says, however,
Like-
Sato said a whole bunch of fruit trees and their plants died because of some mysterious substance that you allegedly used.
Well,
So
yeah,
they
I
don't-
think Roundup can't kill trees. I mean, not trees, but it probably can.
Kill that animal.
Animals. But I mean, it's just like, how could it just travel over
Yeah,
the fence,
yeah.
you know? Like,
I thought about like pursuing the whole like, because I saw like narcotics people at your place.
yeah, that was an interesting
that was
part.
like, that was like hella kind of off. I was like, I wanted to pursue that, but then it kind of made me look like the stereotypical Asian, like, oh, you're that drug dealer. You're the
well,
best
because it
guy.
says like you're convinced that the neighbors, Mr. Kobayashi and son, reported to the police that you're a drug dealer, which led to you being arrested. So
Yeah,
that's like
which-
it sounds like an interesting
See,
part to
what,
add in.
I wanted to ask you in detail. I don't know. Did we do this? But I'm not sure if I remember it. But what was the reason why you got arrested?
Yeah, it just is because they reported me to being a drug dealer,
Yeah.
and then after that they mentioned a camera pointing into my bathroom, so maybe they like thought they saw something on camera and they like assumed like, oh, he's a drug dealer, like go in there, and that's why I added on the whole thing. That's not in the paper, but I added on like, yeah, I smoked some weed, but like for medicinal purposes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, that actually took you off the hook though.
Yeah.
Most of it
Yeah,
was
for
nice.
I don't know, cause like with this guy, his dad's like, okay, he knocked over that camera in the yard, right?
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
before all that happened, before we even like have any problems, like it says that we saw some cops in your place before.
Oh, really?
Before.
Yeah, because when you were saying that, I was like, that doesn't add with mine, but
Yeah. Before it, right? It says beforehand, before all this shit started going down. It says we saw cops there, and then we think that you got all sideways on my dad because we called the cops in, but we didn't.
Oh, okay.
Cause he's convinced that we called the cops,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
didn't. We're like, why are
That's
the
why
cops?
he's so mad.
That's why he's so mad. I think that's part of it.
And then on top of accusing him of killing the
Yeah,
fish.
so that's how it is. So.
Okay. So wait, did yours say that it saw him throw something over?
No, I
Oh, okay.
Well, you make that up as you go, though. 'Cause that's all part of the thing.
Oh,
Make
okay.
up shit. So I was like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I was confused who started what fight when you guys were in the garage too, by the way.
Oh, it just says in mine. It says that I went over to be like a good neighbor to like smooth things out, and that like, especially today, displayed all those martial art kicks in his garage as you on the Kobayashi's residence to smooth out, and he came really close to hitting him, but
I thought you made that up.
No, dude, like he was like in the garage and doing some Karate Kid stuff, like.
No, and then it says in mine that he also accosted you in your garage. He did not actually hit you, but he got in your face and threatened you.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't say like what I was doing. So when he said, "Yeah, you just crushed," I was looking like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
So we were looking for someone provoking something.
Yeah.
The whole time we kept on getting hints at like.
So when he brought the whole crunch, I was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
Yeah, and Alex has displayed all those martial art kicks.
I was like, "You think you're Jackie
Yeah, I was
Chan?"
like, Jackie Chan shit.
And I'm looking at my paper like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then I was like, oh, check, I'll just roll with it.
Yeah.
You know, like.
The story's not hella hot to me. I remember you telling the story first, and you saying that you approached him. I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah,
I go,
it was
hey, come over
sideways.
here.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait, what?
No, like, that's what I said, but he, like, kind of intersected his own story. I was like, okay, what is wrong with that one? Because that sounds better.
Wait, so did you guys meet in your garage?
It was in my garage, yeah.
Yeah.
So then he came to you then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was confused about. I was like,
This whole thing's about,
like
a lot of this in here is about being, like, gesture of goodwill. I don't want to be a bad neighbor. I want to smooth things out because this dude has a record and he can't afford to get another thing, like, go to jail. So this guy's, like, trying to cover all his bases, it sounds like.
And this guy is mostly pissed because his dad is, like, you know, fucking ancient.
Yeah.
And he's like, he feels that this guy is, like, hella fucking with his dad. He's
Yeah, it's
hey,
like super shady or something.
Like, yeah, don't you fucking with my 86-year-old dad. What's the matter with you? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mention the last part.
he's an old ass man.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, this is one, like.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I was hella funny, dude.
We kind of like
Karate kicks. What are you talking about?
say, but
I was like, I like, looked hella off on that. I was like, nah, he doesn't know. Like,
He doesn't
I was
know.
like, I'm not picking this up, I
But I
swear.
wonder.
That was really good though.
Oh, well, they agreed on it. So.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we can jump charge because
Right, we should have stated that. We should have stated. Once you guys do it, you should definitely state that all charges will be dismissed.
You guys settled.
I
We'll have to
mean,
make sure for if we
it's
settle
implied.
again.
Did you know that it'll be dismissed if?
Well, it kind of says on the back, like, if this case is not settled in mediation, he may be charged with vandalism by the district attorney, and if convicted, sent to jail. So that's why I was like,
Oh, okay.
and it says deep down he notices a possibility, but you tend to think that you'll avoid the rap. So that's why I try to smooth it out, like, look, man, I can't go to jail. Like,
The complete opposite of the last one.
yeah.
Yeah, freaking working with people who are
Yeah.
definitely not having any way to winning this.
Yeah, heck yeah.
yeah, it's like the last one was just like, no. If this case does not settle in mediation, it would cost you more money to take the time off work in order to testify at a potential prosecution. Blah blah blah. To the yard. Although you still may be willing to do that for the principal's sake, it depends on Dale's attitude. So if you became cool with it, then I would say, okay, that's pretty much like, okay, because you're supposed to be hella more, like pissed off, like, yeah, I got this rap, and you know, like, but since you like changed your attitude towards the end, I think like you became more like collaborative, and then I was really like, okay, if he changes his attitude, then he'd be more willing to work together. Like, okay, that's why I was like, well, no, money's not a problem.
Yeah. Alright, man. This is pretty good, bro.
Yeah, I guess we're done. 49 minutes. Sounds good.
Damn, that was a long one.
Just
Alright.
gonna switch it up. 'Cause
Alright, we'll give
we know all the stories.
Yeah.
All the
I know.
details.
Do you wanna like?
Who do you want to be?
Should, okay, instead
okay,
of
stop
making, no, because we made like 2 videos. I don't know Well, we can still do that. He said it's fine to submit as many links as possible.
Okay.
Along with-
Alright, so we'll stop this one.
Okay.
Is that,
Wouldn't
Take
it
one
be,
over.